Prediction? Yes.
¿Cómo? Predictions. Óyeme. ¿Y quién Freddy ahora? Who's next? Woo! El chingón.
A little, aggravated by
This
the
guy
line of
is
questioning
not
regarding Canelo.
103
Dude, so bad.
episodes.
I don't want to touch his name.
Pow!
I'm working on feeling the art of humbleness. Can you be with me? That's the reason why I'm crying, because I'm not that person no more. And I miss him. Because sometimes I feel like a bitch. I don't want that person to come out, because when he comes out, hell is coming with him. And it's not funny at all. It must sound cool, like I'm a tough guy. It's just, I hate that. I'm scared.
It would be awesome to, being a great warrior. Maybe with a Mexican. I have to put the joke.
No, hey.
Thank you for playing, man. I appreciate
Good
you.
timing, man.
Can't put predictions, man, but I definitely don't want to leave it to the judges.
¡Woo! Oye,
Oh, yeah.
seguimos activos and we are live and en vivo podcast. Manny Marrero.
Sean El Gringo Hicks.
Hopper. Breaking it down like it is EnVivo style, like it should be. Like you fans deserve that. We're podcast 103, Gringo.
103.
103, and we just had a fantastic time with a world champion here in studio. Gringo, you missed it because he spoke Spanish. He spoke English, man.
English, bro.
Golly.
Yeah, I got the memo.
You got-
5 minutes left in the interview. Guys, shout out to me.
Shout out
Whoa.
to you. I mean,
All
you
right,
know,
so
it
this is what
happens.
I've been waiting for, to talk to my brothers in
Really?
English.
In English? Oh, man. Yeah, we missed
Actually, we're
talking
doing this one in
English.
Spanish, too.
Hey, español gringo.
Damn it. Ay, ay, ay.
En vivo, estamos platicando de Canelo.
Ah, órale, porque es Canelo chingón. It's got to be in Spanish.
No,
Hola,
so I
gringo.
know
What were
that,
you
you
saying?
know-
You were saying?
We kind of joke about, to our brother Hopper that he always finds a way to talk about Canelo.
Every
So
episode.
with it being not even 2 minutes in, but I think we have to. I mean,
like-
he fights in 2 weeks,
It's like when South
and it
Park
is for
kills-
Undisputed.
when South
that's
Park
kind
kills
of history, right?
I mean, it's
Yes,
kind of
sir.
like a
I was debating
holiday if
on-
you ask me.
It is
It
history.
will be a holiday.
We were kind of talking amongst ourselves like we normally do, and just going off as far as what's a relevant, valid show that Damian Lillard deserves. And I'm like, does he deserve to hear this?
No,
Oh, he
he's always
does.
listening to
He's
us.
always listening.
Damien.
Shout out to you, Damien.
Saludos en vivo.
Damian
Our
Lillard,
biggest
Damian
Mano
fan.
Lillard.
Marrero, aquí
He's not
presente.
But seriously, I was wondering, because there's so much as far as inside the ring. Is there really anything to break down? But our brother Hopper always brings it, and there's so much going on. Pound for pound fighters, legendary fighters are making crazy claims. We got to talk about all of it. So without further
Yes,
ado,
let's
my
talk
brother
about
Hopper,
it. Let's
please
talk
take it away.
about
Help
this.
us with this madness.
Of course, we're talking about the cash cow, the number one draw, the number one pound for pound in boxing.
He retired.
Canelo
Oh, you're talking. I thought you were talking about
Canelo.
Triple G.
Alvarez. No,
I saw you so excited, Gringo,
no.
that
Shout out to Triple G.
Triple G. Oh, he's fighting in December finally. Ryan Murata. Well, anyways, this show's not about Triple G, Triple Whack. It's about the Sauce, Canelo versus Caleb Plant for the Undisputed November 6th.
Yeah.
Right around the corner, gentlemen. Boxing's number one. Battles for the third time this year. That's crazy. In this day and
No.
age,
But
where
not only is
where
crazy,
fighters
man,
milk,
yeah.
they milk one fight payday, and then
they're gone.
that's it. Mr. Gary Russell Jr. throwing shots your way.
Shout out to you,
Canelo
sir.
gets the biggest paydays, and he still wants to fight.
Yeah.
I think that just shows you his hunger and his love for the sport. He takes
Is it hunger?
I think he's pretty hungry. He wants to be undisputed. The
relate.
first, yeah, well, we know that. He wants to be the first ever undisputed at 168 pounds in the four-belt era
Middleweight.
and ever. So when he's facing a very extremely difficult challenge, I don't care what my brothers say, he takes on
it
Caleb
difficult?
Sweet Hands
Sweet hand.
Plant.
Yeah.
21-0, only 12 knockouts, 6'1", 74-inch reach. Fights out of the
Pillow
orthodox stance or pillow hands. So he has about a 5-inch height advantage and almost a 4-inch reach advantage as well over Canelo. Nothing new. Canelo is the smaller man in this division. Everybody is taller than him. Everybody is bigger than him. See Callum Smith. So, what exactly does Caleb bring to the table?
What?
Quick hands, quick feet, superior boxing abilities, his defense, movement, precision. I mean, the man can box. The man can fight. His weaknesses, though, and this is what's gonna get him in trouble.
Sloppily?
His lack of power. Out of 21 fights, he only has 12 knockouts. And he struggled mightily with, how old was he? 50-year-old Caleb Truax?
He turned 51. Say it with your chest, sir.
Say it with your chest.
Woo!
At times, he's very, very poor positioning. He leaves him susceptible to hooks. He's untested against quality opposition other than Jose Uzquetegari. And here's my opinion, the biggest weakness. He's never been in this kind of light before. The light shines a little brighter when you fight Canelo. How's that nervous energy going to get to him before the fight or while he's waiting in the ring and Canelo's over there walking into, I don't know, whatever Mexican superstar he decides to bring for that night?
All of them.
All of them, right?
Undisputed.
Have
Why not?
have all the Mexican stars there. So, brothers, I mean, we're here to talk about Canelo Caleb Plant, man. I know Manny thinks Caleb's gonna win this, or he's rooting for Caleb Plant.
Openly.
Oh, yeah. I'm like Ward. He's going to knock out Canelo. I'm like Andrew Ward. No, I mean, we know. I mean, don't hate me. I am Puerto Rican, but I like some Mexican boxers, and that's the case with Canelo.
The lie detector determined.
I like Canelo. My question to you, Hopper,
that was a lie.
That was a lie. My question to you will be:
what round is he gonna knock him out?
Does Caleb Plant has the boxing skills to be able to do what Floyd Mayweather did when he fought Canelo? And I know it's a big comparison, but I've been hearing a lot.
Thank you. That was the first thing
I've been hearing a lot.
Gringo, go ahead and answer that.
I've been hearing a lot that Plant has some of those boxing skills that can actually, right, give the Mexican a run for their money and possibly knock him out. And that was the great, champion Andrew Ward.
Gringo?
What do you think about that?
What are your thoughts on that, Gringo?
I think that Billy Joe Saunders presented a much more challenging opponent. And I think that, got to give credit to our other brother, Manny. He did bring it to our attention, and I was questioning it. I mean, going back and looking at the high-def 4K replay of Caleb Plant versus Caleb Truax in the Battle of the Calebs.
Very underwhelming.
Only one man can enter. One Caleb can come out. That's another thing too. I mean, he gets a lot of credit for being, and I hate even saying it, but as a slick boxer, but he gets caught a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He got caught quite a bit. And then the thing is, I'm not really sure if it was just poor strategy on his part, but I've never looked at Caleb Plant and just felt like, oh man, how can you beat this guy? I think there's a lot of ways. I mean, you can bully him, right? I think that obviously you can, just what I expect to happen, to just kind of corner him, overwhelm him with barrage of punches. And he also seems to have issues with lateral movement. And there's just a lot of flaw. And then he doesn't have the power to get the respect of Canelo to pose any kind of threat to avoid any combinations or the body work. So, I mean, yeah. So, and that's another thing too. I don't know what kind of chin he actually has, as far as like to withstand the type of onslaught he's going to get. So, but again, I'm not Andre Ward. We kind of alluded to it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it just for the sake of the show. And for those that are listening, Damian Lillard, it doesn't matter what I think, because I'm just half man, half disappointment. But people of much higher pedigree do think there's a chance. So let's take them within the order that they took place. So the first one came from within the discussions and confines. It was on Fight Hub. You could look it up online. It's the interview on YouTube, and it's a segment of it, only 40 seconds. But Terrence Crawford was asking about what Caleb Plant could do. And, and obviously, Terrence Crawford, he knows boxing. He's really good at breaking things down. But his analysis was and recommendation for Caleb Plant.
Do what?
Pillow-fisted Caleb Plant, sweet corn, for him to go ahead and to bring the thunder as only a Triple G warrior can do. So he said that have the same strategy and mindset of a Triple G.
You know, but there's only one problem with that strategy, though, Gringo. Caleb doesn't punch like Triple G. And I think that might be a little bit of a problem.
That's my concern.
If he thinks he's gonna walk in there and trade the leather with Canelo, he might get his face broken before the middle rounds.
And that's my concern, because I've always said it from the beginning. I think for me, I'm wrong. And if you want to compare resumes, we could do so. Billy Joe Sanders was a much better boxer than Caleb Plant. Billy Joe Sanders know how to finish fights.
Wait, weren't we the ones? Weren't we Team Billy Joe and weren't you Caleb Plant?
No. I am right. I've always been in Canelo. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of like who would give more, who would give a much better fight to Canelo, and that was before the Billy Joe Sanders fight. I said Billy Joe compared to Caleb Plant.
Really, Because I thought me and you were Billy Joe and he was Caleb Plant.
No.
I've
never been hyped up on Caleb Plant when it comes to Billy Joe Sanders. And you know what? And go back.
I see what you're doing, and I appreciate you, sir.
Go back.
We were team sweet corn. Sir.
We were team sweet corn?
No.
We were team sweet corn.
Okay.
No, because here's the thing. I remember real quick for those that are follow our show, and thank you so much, is that we made the comment, and it actually came from you. So don't try to get out of it now.
Yeah.
We said that would actually be a good matchup for them to fight, and I don't know who I would favor, and that's how it came up. We're like, I think I would favor Sweet Corn. I would favor Caleb Plant over Billy Joe Sanders.
Really?
I remember, because I feel that way, and I say when you compare,
check the
go because when you look at the fights,
pretty depressing. The
fights that he started even with. David Lemieux and Cáceres, Martin Murray.
I think very highly of Billy Joe.
I do too, and I think
Lee.
more high into that. But Caleb Plant, for me, hasn't showed me that he can definitely finish with that, what you just talked about, the punching power. Something that Billy Joe Sanders has into advantage, and he can capitalize. Now, in terms of boxing skills, I think there's a slight edge in Caleb Plant than Billy Joe Sanders, but overall, I take it into a balance, and for me, always, Billy Joe Sanders, for me, was the guy that actually would have given more, a bigger fight than Caleb Plant. Here we are. We're talking about now Caleb Plant. And why I say that, and the reason I say that, guys, is for me, I don't see anything other than just someone try to box the ass off out of someone that is going to be hunting you the entire fight. And we have seen time after time, and of course, we can't talk about losses or anything like that, but you have mentioned it, someone that went into the distance with someone that was, how many years? Truex? And
he was old.
Before Caleb Truex, who else was someone that you can feel like it was almost to the level of the opposition of the fighters that Billy Joe Sanders fought? You can't find any.
That's another thing.
That's what I put in one of his
weaknesses. You can't find any. So you're looking
German
fantastic. What is his name?
Vincent Figgenbutz.
Yeah, and he knocked him out in the 10th round. But you can't find that elite boxer that you can say, wow, I can see the skills. I can see that, hey, he is 21-0 for no reason, right? But the reason that I'm saying 21-0 with only 12 knockouts, and are you going to really take the ginger out and knock him out like Andrew Ward saying, someone that has a lot of knowledge? Oh, I am completely favoring. I want this thing to end in less than 5 rounds. Because the reality is right now we have a guy that is ambitious, the cash cow, and I'm not trying to praise something like that or trying to be kind of smooth things against my compadres Mexicanos. Listen, I see things like they are. I'm realistic. And right now, talk about it. And this is why I say the weakest division that Canelo decided to be part of was the 168. Now you see what I'm talking about. These are champions. Great. Undefeated. Great. But who are their opposition? definitely at your elite status, you're going to dominate.
It's kind of a backhanded compliment, I guess.
It really is.
Right?
Like,
But,
I'm sitting here
He's
like,
sounding like the writers from
I'm just-
BoxingNews24.com.
I'm
That's
just
where
looking, I'm
that's
just
where the
looking
article
at what I
came out
see,
with.
and what I see. If I have a tournament
That's how-
in where you are like extremely favored, and look at your opposition, who do you think I'm going to root? I'm going to root for you.
You just completely
but-
shat on
but-
Callum Smith's World Boxing WBSS tournament win. You just completely shat on Billy Joe Saunders when he defeated. He went through a pretty good stretch. He fought undefeated fighters. John Ryder. Then he defeated Chris Eubank Jr.
Oh, wow.
Andy
How old was
Lee.
he?
Andy Lee.
Okay.
No, I'm not one to shit on boxers, undefeated champions like
I'm
as
not
easy
either.
as you do.
I respect them, but when you think about the elite level and the caliber of Canelo, I would love to see something. But hey, that's the division he feels comfortable. That's where he. I'm not bashing him on because he picked that.
Really?
I'm bringing it into the
Kinda sounds
equation.
like you are.
I gotta do it.
You are,
I'm bringing it into the equation. I gotta do that. However, semicolon. I have to say that's why I feel that
he fought the biggest
Canelo
dog at 160
will actually
pounds.
easily beat Caleb Plant. His strength, knowledge, hunger, ambition, the superstar.
See,
The
a
number
lot of
one,
people-
pound for pound in my list, Canelo Álvarez.
See, a lot of people forget, like Manny, a lot of people forget that he moved up from 154 to fight the boogeyman that nobody wanted
get
to
it.
fight. Triple
I
G.
get it.
He fought him twice.
all right, so
And then he moved up from there because after Triple
I'm
G.
not going to
moved
say
up,
washed out Triple G because Sean will kill me.
He moved up to fight at 168.
now
He even moved up to 175 to fight
I get
Crusher.
it. I get it. He's
I mean,
done
so this
stuff.
guy's going up and down. I mean, he's pretty much
all right,
fighting.
so I got to ask this because Manny's compliment just totally caught me off guard. Like,
Really?
check it up, please.
You're welcome. All I can
right,
say is you're welcome.
My question, Manny.
Yeah.
All right. So if not
Okay.
168, and then we'll get back to the preview. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, Damian Lillard.
Sorry.
But seriously, if not 168,
Mhm.
you really what division would be more formidable?
What
to you,
division would
honestly?
be competition for him?
Honestly.
I would say honestly right now 175. But that's not his
He's
comfortable weight.
little.
That's what I'm saying. That's
He's a
not his
little
comfortable
guy.
weight. But 175 based
You
on
really
his,
think
based
Peter
on his
Biv?
talent. He
Peter
can't
Biv
go
and Bivol?
so he can't I mean that's more
Eduardo?
competition than anyone in 168.
Timothy Bradley says that
Right?
neither of those guys can.
And you guys can agree with me. If there any competition in 160,
well, I mean, you got
do we
Charlo
wanna
there, Jamal Charlo.
no money fight, yes.
Jamal Charlo.
But competition in terms of the level. Listen, Canelo is a different species right now. Canelo is a
David
different level,
Benavidez
to
is
be honest.
168.
David Benavidez,
That
168.
would be a match to say, hey, that will be something very interesting. I can't even give my thoughts right now, but it's something that hasn't happened. If it hasn't happened, then
All right,
I don't think
this-
it'll ever happen. He's got no champion right now. He's not a
No,
champion. And Canelo is after the Undisputed, and he's going to get it. And you know what? I'm going to give in all the praise and all the honor to him because he have worked for the status that he is right now. And boxing cannot, all right, be boxing right now without Canelo.
Absolutely.
Is that okay?
So I got to ask this.
Can you forgive me?
That's fair. That's fair.
You're welcome.
I got to ask this question, and then Hopper, please carry it, take it away as far as the rest of this segment, talking about the preview of this fight. So focus on the fight itself. But I have to ask, with you not feeling this is the most challenging division, Manny, for Canelo Álvarez,
Mhm.
are you impressed with if he does, which we all seem to believe, I assume, right, that he's going to do it by beating Caleb Sweet Corn Plant. If he does do that and
Sweet
become
Corn
undisputed
Hunter.
within a calendar year, are you at that point impressed? Regardless
Absolutely.
of division.
Absolutely. And even more impressed if he's able to like knock out Caleb Plant. I am going to say that Caleb Smith has been one of the toughest fights at the 168, which people don't really realize that.
Yeah,
And
people,
yes.
yeah, people are
Right? So
It's-
and we talked about that. So yeah, I am expecting him to win. I am actually expecting him to really knock Caleb Plant out and prove people wrong. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna say at the 168, the only challenge Canelo had was Caleb Smith.
and he
So-
freaking tore his bicep up.
Exactly.
Did you see that? That big old hematoma he had on his bicep.
Yeah, a little. Yeah.
He had a head. He had a third head there.
Yep.
Yeah, we just had to get that cleared up.
No, I'm clear.
My
Are we
bad.
clear?
No, you're good. So back to the Caleb Plant. I mean, see, and you know what, guys? I'm giving Caleb a lot more of a chance than I think you guys are, and the world is. I guess because I got suckered into the All Access episode. I watched it. I recorded it.
I haven't seen it though. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Good.
Is it?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm a boxing junkie, and it was episode 1.
You recommend it?
Yes, I definitely recommend it if you're a fan of the boxing and fan of Canelo, fan of Caleb. Immediately, it starts off with the slap heard around the world, but it goes even further because they're mic'd up. You can hear what they're saying. So,
yeah, I like it.
And it's the way they presented it. Showtime does a fantastic job with this. And you know, Canelo, motherfucker, you motherfucker. So it's great. And then once they get over with that, and about the press conference, they talk about Caleb Plant. They show how he come from humble beginnings. His dad was a kickboxer. He pushed him really hard. What I found from that episode most notably was he would not give his son Caleb the bye round in amateur tournaments. You know, if you were ranked number 1, you would get the bye. You wouldn't fight in the first round. Well, Papa Plant will go talk to the organizers and say no. He would move him all the way down to 16th or last, and he said, no, if my son is gonna win this damn tournament, he's gonna fight every day. So I just thought that was pretty funny. So Caleb talks about how rough his dad was, and of course they're gonna touch on his daughter's passing. He talked about it a lot, about he was at the grave. And over the years, we've heard different versions about where Plant was maybe milking the tragedy for views. But either way, I mean, the man lost his daughter. That's a horrible tragic. Nobody wants to imagine that. And then they go to Canelo, and he's all about family, shots with his daughter, his wife, of course, him training. He talks about his humble beginnings. He was poor as well. He didn't come, fed with the silver spoon or anything like that. So overall, it was a great episode, and I guess I fell into the hype. You know, Caleb Plant is he is a good boxer, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a solid boxer, great boxing skills. They don't call him, what do they call him? Sweet corn,
sweet
hands,
sweet hands.
They call him sweet hands.
Damian Lillard knows what they call him, so I know he'll be watching. Ain't that right, Damian?
D.
But I'm sorry.
Portland, man.
Damien, I couldn't draft you this year, bro. I had pick number 5, and I picked James Harden over you. Sorry.
Oh,
don't
no wonder.
Not a good enough
He's gonna hate us more.
Oh, he's gonna hate me. Please still listen.
Oh yay!
So, but no. Anyways, yeah. I mean, I'm giving Caleb more of a chance. Do I give him more of a chance than Billy Joe had? I don't know. I've always held Billy Joe in a higher regard. I've always thought Billy Joe was a great boxer. Great showman too. Dude in his Versace robe, just out there being a douche. and Caleb, and then the one thing I will say about Caleb is I think he kind of messed up in that press conference and pissing Canelo off, or maybe Canelo was just looking to get pissed off and take it personal.
But you mean the worst acting scene ever seen in
I don't
boxing
know because a lot of
history?
people are pretty much saying the same thing, that Canelo has taken it a little personal now.
Oh,
and you know how when boxers take things personal, they train harder as opposed to going through the motions.
Well, I mean, so don't you think that Caleb Plant's going to even train harder knowing that he's got a scar now in his face? He's got to see it every time he's shadowing against the mirror. And don't you think that's going to help him also as well?
Yeah, of course. No,
Okay.
and he has all the motivation in the world. I mean, you're fighting Canelo. That's all you need. It's
Money?
Yeah.
Ka-shing.
See, that's the thing, though, man. The guys that Canelo fights, they bring their A game.
They better.
Him, it's not just a random opponent that you can just run of the motion, run of the mill. Just go
But if it
through.
wasn't a champion, do you think Canelo would ever think about fighting him?
Well, I mean, if he's not a champion,
No.
I mean,
So,
right now at the moment, the goal is undisputed.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
why he's fighting him. Other than that, he had no business to be in the ring.
There's
So he's got to be grateful for that. And I'm hoping that he does train, because I do want to see at least the first few rounds something.
Yeah. And see here, and the thing is, though, if Canelo wipes him out, I don't think he's. I mean, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. If Canelo wipes him out,
Wipes?
yeah, just
what are you
destroys
thinking?
him.
Like, what are you thinking? I mean, you want to predict it yet? Or
Oh, prediction time!
prediction?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? I mean, let's give the honor to. Let's give the honor to. Wait a minute. In Bomba style and the new prediction.
Gringo. What you think, Gringo?
What do you guys think?
Okay, so I know you guys have been waiting all year for this. Just like you're waiting on Teofimo Lopez versus Camboso, but here we go.
That's since 2 years
I'm going to give it to you right now. Give it Canelo, stoppage, 7th round. Body shot.
Oh, body shot.
Broken ribs.
Ooh, broke that
Some
man's
sweet
ribs,
sauce.
huh?
So with a side of sweet corn.
Well, I guess I'll leave the host of this specific podcast, Hopper, I'll leave him for last. But here's the deal. I'll go.
What's the deal?
So, here's the first round, and here's Caleb demonstrating his boxing skills. Canelo's like a little snake, really looking at and maybe landing a couple combinations, moving away, and Caleb just, jabbing and doing his thing and gaining points. Second round does the same thing. Third round, fourth round, fifth round is where we start seeing Canelo warm up. You start seeing the ginger sweating. Goes out to the sixth round, and unfortunately, I was hoping, Gringo didn't say this, but I am saying the same thing in Gringo. I see a 7-round stoppage. Body combinations in the face, pinning you in the corner the way Canelo knows how to do it, spinning you around and giving you that special massage body treatment. Will bring down and hopefully, hopefully there's no broken bones or broken eyes or nothing like that.
No, I need those ribs on a platter.
Exactly. It'll be like, give me a tank of of oxygen because I can't breathe, and the referee says no. My 7-round stoppage. Canelo Álvarez.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to disagree with you guys.
Woo! Míralo. Vamos allá.
It's gonna happen.
Gringo, first time you and I kind of
I'm gonna disagree with you guys. You ready for it?
I'm scared all the way.
Unanimous?
No.
Okay.
I think Canelo's gonna stop him in the 8th round.
The price is right.
I mean,
$1.
So I'm sorry, bro.
$1.
I had to disagree with you guys. Don't do this often, but I think actually I do it a lot.
Actually, it's every show.
Pretty much. Canelo, 8th round.
Damn.
Knockout. Body punch.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Whew. All right.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. So I did want to ask this because, we touched on what Terrence Crawford's recommendations to Caleb Sweetcorn Plant was, but also we can't get out of here without that article that's been kind of going around and people are like, what's going on with Andre Ward? So we had that great episode that you brought up, Hopper, about the secret enemy, the secret invasion of Andre Ward. Does he have some kind of passive aggressive feeling towards Canelo? And then he makes the craziest, most insane prediction ever. He predicts a KO too, but not by Canelo, of Canelo. What's your thoughts on that?
Man,
before we get out of here?
First of all, I think I know what you're talking about. That article came out on boxingnews24.com. And I have to say this. Those writers there are some of the shittiest writers that I've ever read. They are,
and we're writers.
They're completely biased. They just crap on everybody. I'm trying to figure out who owns them, who pays them to write this crap. Yes, I'm talking to you, Sean Jones, Dean Ambrose.
Oh wow, directly to you.
You guys are trash writers. You guys. Well, I read it because of the quotes that the boxers. You guys get the interview, so I do read the quotes that the boxers say. But
is it more to hype up a media stuff? I mean,
it's just garbage with them, and it's horrible.
It's clickbait.
It's just it's what you say. It's like shock jock writing. It's like it's kind of like that. But
we should do that.
Anyways, back to we should do that, right? Maybe that's why they bait me and have him talking about it on the podcast. So, anyways, back to what Andre Ward's saying. Andre Ward's just supporting his boy. That's what I chalk that up to. Nothing. I don't think Canelo's taking that personal. They're friends. Him and Caleb are buddies. He's just hyping his boy up. He's gonna back him up, of course. That's what I would do to any of my friends or homeboys, and I would back him up 100%. Even though I know in my heart of hearts that he's probably getting knocked the fuck out. I would tell him, yeah, of course he's gonna win. Of course he's gonna win. But in my head, I'm gonna bet. You know what? Put $100 on the other guy.
I know, right? Imagine that. Jeez Louise.
But yeah.
So yeah, you don't read too much into it.
That's just a boy supporting his homie.
Cool. All right, so we're just some boys supporting our homies.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for listening in. Any last words?
Well,
Hopper?
I think for me right now is one of the things that I did find it interesting, and when they said the quote is, as long as Plant doesn't fight sloppily, the way British fighters Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Smith, and Rocky Fielding did against Canelo, he's got a chance. But that's the key word. Canelo makes you fight sloppy. So what makes you think that that's not going to happen to Caleb Plant? It's just contradicting themselves. So anyway, for me,
trash.
Honestly, I agree. I don't want to go as to too much trash. They're doing their jobs. They're grinding like we're grinding. But yeah, sometimes it's like, and Andrew Ward, you got to support the people that you support. And, it won't be fair for me to be a friend with someone and then all of a sudden go against someone else. You probably do it if you're betting on, but, that's just really betraying. And not really rooting for what really matters, which is the friendship. And so he's got the right to say whatever he has to say. Is he going to knock out Canelo? I don't think so, man. I just don't think in this planet right now there's no one that can knock out Canelo at this 168.
Oh, wait. Hold up.
Nope.
Whoa.
Nope. Not at 168. No one, not even Benavidez, would not. And he'd probably be the toughest fighter Canelo could ever face at 168. That's why I really want to see that fight. Another show. Having said that, no one at this particular time can knock out Canelo, and I will be extremely shocked. And no, I will not hide if that ever happens, but I will be really shocked if that happens. And I'll come out. If it happens, I'll come out publicly.
Closet? What?
No, heck no, not in this life.
Episode 103.
Óyeme. 103, ya.
Wow.
103.
Inglés.
¿Sabes?
En vivo.
Nos vemos.
Fuera.
Ay.
Adiós.